lot of chill guys, a lot of nonchalant final bosses, and we just go around trying to clip farm.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen. The White Whale, the episode that you've all been waiting for. NFL quarterback by day, male model come nightfall. The thinking man's Hannah Montana. Commanders quarterback Sam Hartman. Sam, welcome to Hero Ball. Thanks for joining us.
And it's an honor to be a part of Hero Ball.
Let's go, baby.
It's pretty cool to get a legend like Justice Chanat on, sitting in his home theater. Thank you for taking time,
Can't
watching
hide it.
movies, kicking your feet up.
Can't hide it.
Poor man's theater. Poor man's theater.
There we go.
Doesn't look too poor.
Sam, you're coming fresh off of New York City Fashion Week, playing the Packers on Thursday night, walking the runway by Friday. Can you explain to me your journey into this world of modeling? If you were to tell me back in 2019 that someone from Kitchen 211 would be walking the runway, would be a model, I would have said, Adam Winter really figured it out. You know what I'm saying? But somehow it's Sam Hartman. We don't really understand it. But could you explain to me? So what was Fashion Week like? And talk to me about your journey into the world of modeling.
Yeah, I would say to start, the emphasis on the playing at Green Bay was very. I warmed up Jayden Daniels and then stood on the sideline in shorts and a tee. But hey, we're still there. The foot's in the door. But yeah, I think we've kind of gone back and forth on this, but in a long-winded version is, the opportunity kind of comes, where, hey, would you be interested in this? And it kind of started really at Notre Dame. Like randomly, the internet will just be like, yeah, like Sam, you're a good-looking person, and like it kind of comes and goes sparingly, and I don't really control it. Maybe I push out a couple from my burners, but I'm not going to speak on that. And yeah, that kind of started at Notre Dame, and then we got approached by Polo Ralph Lauren to do a fall catalog with them during, like, right at the end of draft prep, kind of where everything was winding down. I'd finished all my local days, the visits. I didn't have any local days of visits. I just lied. And
that makes two of us.
Yes, sir. And they were like, hey, we would love for you to come, model for us. And I'm like, sure. Like, it's a reputable brand, it's a cool opportunity. It was in New York. I had no idea what I was doing. Like I thought, like, you Zoolandered every photo. They're like, please don't do that. But that was kind of that. I didn't really think anything else of it, but it kind of sparked the idea in our agency and myself that, like, there's going to be outlets, there's going to be avenues. But like, hey, football is the main thing. When you have time, maybe this is something you should consider. Fast forward this season, right? Fast forward to the draft, right? You're thinking, hey, a lot of people have told you these different things, speculations, right? How everything works. You sit there for 3 days, scratching your head, wondering on that third day, all right, it's going to come, doesn't come. And again, it's like the classic, like you're sitting at a bar talking to somebody, telling them, hey, it was better to go undrafted than go in the 7th round because you get to pick to where you're going. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's your whole life is depending on like getting a phone call from an NFL team, and it doesn't happen. It's literally the worst day. Well, there's been some other things, but a pretty low light in my life. And again, it's like now at 21 years of playing football, it's like the 20 years before that is all literally in preparation to go to try and get your name called. That doesn't happen, and you're like, well, shoot, man, like, is this modeling thing something that I'm gonna have to pursue here soon? And then the Commanders call. They're like, hey, they were the only team that came to my pro day, like the full staff, general manager, for whatever reason. I think they were looking at other people, and had a really good one. And I stayed in contact with their quarterback coach, and obviously they drafted Jayden. Jayden and I have been friends before that for about 3 years through training. We go through it and end up, signing there. And like, again, like the funniest part is like, oh, like, we're so glad you picked us. I'm sure you had a lot of people calling. It was the only team, like literally the only team that called. Like, that was the only team in the NFL that said,
really?
hey, Sam, will you come be our 4, compete to be our 4? So again, like, not exactly what you want to hear, not exactly what you want to have happen, but like, things happen for a reason, whatever you want to believe. Preseason comes the first year. I blow my shoulder, end up having to get surgery after the year finishes up, come back and play poorly in the preseason, get cut again, sign back to P Squad, and we're back in the grind of it. And I think the fashion stuff kind of comes in as like, hey, like, with this football being the NFL and with this opportunity being on the horizon, and people are kind of like testing it out, they're like, hey, like, when you have free time and you feel like it's just like, why not give it a go? It's a foreign world. It's definitely different. But my first events were New York Fashion Week this past in the beginning of the year. It's like a men's is like right during the Super Bowl, and we were like, hey, if it's possible, you guys don't go to the Super Bowl, which is a crazy concept to think of in your first year. We would love to have you come up, do some shows, watch people, just get your name out there, and then they're like, you do it and you're like, man, this is kind of like whatever. Like you get a couple like cool shows, you see some people, you wear the weird outfits and but then like the next time they're like, hey, if we have more time, we'll be able to plan this, we'll be able to get you into better things. And that kind of happened. And had some cool events, met some cool people, and yeah, that was like a really long way to get to that answer, but it's just an opportunity. And you try and take advantage. Like I know like we talked about Hebs is just like the shield has so much power, and like when you tell people you're behind it or you work with it, it kind of like they're like, no matter what they have going on, no matter who they are, it opens everyone's eyes to you, and you get a little bit, probably the doors open a little wider than they probably would if I was just normal person.
Yeah. Protect the shield, baby. Yeah, well, that kind of covers everything. I don't have any more questions for you there, but I appreciate the response. I appreciate you going so in depth. Well, you kind of just answered it at the end. So I was asking you this before. When you're in, I can't think of two, more different worlds than the NFL and modeling. As a guy like myself, all I know how to talk about is football. Unfortunately, I stunk, unlike you guys, and you guys have been able to make this your career. When I tried to dive into the real world and talk to other people, they don't just want to talk about football, right? So sometimes I struggle. But you going over to modeling, how do you adapt into this world? Do you stick out like a sore thumb? Like what is those different worlds like, trying to balance both? Hannah Montana style. That was pretty good. I came up with earlier, but go on.
I like that a lot.
Thanks.
I think there's a lot of times where people know like, hey, you don't do this for a living, and people are pretty funny to call you out on it, which is like usually a good icebreaker both ways. Like you're the guy like standing like trying to like figure out the architecture of the place and like
Yeah.
looking at what the weather is
Weather
like in
app.
Cuerpo, and just scrolling like, man, it's pretty beautiful. And but like I challenge myself, and like all like the joking aside, like I especially as the events get a little bit the stakes, and like I say stakes like you know in quotes, that it's not that important, but like to me and to potentially the future of what I want to do, it is important. And the stakes get higher in those, and you're meeting people who have like real like influence and real power to like put you in magazines, to put you on a cover, to put you in whatever that may be in the fashion world. I challenge myself to like just go talk to somebody. Somebody makes eye contact with you, it's like, all right, let's go. Like, who are you? What do you do? Why are you like, what puts you here? And then they're gonna reciprocate that. And then I think that the shield kind of helps a lot, where you end up just being like, yeah, I play football. Like, you kind of try and keep it like, you're not just like, yeah, just pull down my like the Superman thing and there's an NFL logo right there. But that probably would help. Yeah, and then it kind of just flows from there. And like some places it's just like, yeah, they don't care, they have no idea, they don't know where DC, like they know where DC is, but they didn't know that they had a football team. And then some people it's like, wait, you play? No way, like that's so cool, like what's it like and they think you're Tom Brady, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Like I'm nowhere close. That's like I think those are the two extremes, and you really don't see anywhere in between the two. They have no idea, or that like when you say it, they're like, oh, you play quarterback, you must be Tom Brady. And so it's like you kind of have to play both sides and figure out how it lands.
Well, what
Uh,
about
go ahead, Ebs.
you can ask your question.
No, I was just gonna say, do you during football season, are you still kind of active in the modeling world and things? Like, are you able to, do both with your schedule, or how does that work?
It's really luck. Like this year was complete luck. Like I would have, I didn't. I mean, last year it never timed out to be. It was literally barring our loss, and it was like, you're like, I don't. I'd much rather go play in this, like go be in the Super Bowl than do Fashion Week. Like I had no desire. It's just like my like my agency, and my, I call her my fashion coach, but my fashion lady who is awesome and I love, and she like no capes, like that's literally like Miss Edna, she's awesome. Her name is Miss Victoria, but that's kind of like her contact picture for me is Edna, because she's awesome.
She sounds
and
awesome.
and like she's doing all the scheduling and being like, hey, like for that first one it was like, hey, like he might not be able to make it because he's playing in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, of course they're going to be
Good
like, oh, that's
excuse.
totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it was like I sent they have my schedule, they know, and it's like they were like, hey, you guys play Green Bay Thursday night. Like, are you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Like, I got all my work in. Like, I was watching, I'm prepping whatever I have to prep for like the next week. We had a bonus Monday. We weren't playing until Sunday, or that next Sunday. And so it's like, hey, this is an opportunity. And yeah, it's not like traditional. It's not like, I'm not like flaunting it out. Like they really wanted me to post because I went to some important events. I was around some important people. But like I'm not like I'm mixing in like they want it to be, hey, fashion, 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 which is again, that's their job. That's what they're trying to push. They're trying to maximize those opportunities. And then I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna mix in some football photos because I don't want that to be the connotation. Because at the end of the day, like football is my number one. I've been doing it for so long. Like it's the only thing that brings me the joy. That's the only thing right now that brings me the joy that I feel is spinning a football, being around the guys, hanging out in the locker room. Like there's nothing like it. And so that is the hard part of it is like I want to be taken seriously as a football player. And like again, like you can go online and find whatever you want about my performance, who I am, what I do, but like in our building, I believe and feel that they see me as a football player, and like they just know like they're just like, yeah, it's kind of sick, you got other stuff going on, like we're not going to punish you for it. And if I felt like they were, then I would stop doing it right away.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question. So you said, everyone is kind of cool with it, but what about like the locker room, the fellas, all this stuff you're talking about? Do you get any shit about the modeling? Does like this come up? Like I imagine, again, two different worlds. The football side of it, does this come up? Are they like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? And then like, you hit that blue steel on them. Like, what is this a topic of conversation for you guys? Do you get any shit about it?
It's yeah, you always are gonna get, but I think we just have a great group, and like our quarterback room, like they love it. They'll throw it into like a random presentation as like a
Yeah.
picture they found of me on the internet, or some modeling shoot. Like, and I'll give them ammo too. Like I'll throw in like something I did a shoot, and I'm like, hey, I like offensive meetings, like as a unit, like they've thrown up like they'll just end the slide and it'll just be me like doing some modeling pose in some like skimpy dress or some like
Yeah.
something stupid, and like they laugh. And like Cliff, like, is our offensive coordinator, is the man, and he like he recently just talked about me in a presser, and like I'm sure we'll
What do you
discuss
say?
that.
Across the board, I would let anybody in that room marry my hypothetical daughter except Hartman because he's way too good looking.
And here,
You can disclose that. I kind of trying to blotch it out in my mind, but it is a kind of a running joke, and like I think they find ways to post me and put me in things that I'm just like, I'm the fourth string quarterback. But um, no, people are supportive, and that's the cool part. Is like, dude, they're like, dude, yeah, like you got the opportunity, like. And I think a lot of it is just like, hey, can I get a hookup and come to one of your events, or hey, can I get some clothes? And I'm like, yeah, like they sent, like I get sent different things, colognes, whatever. I'm like, yeah, here. Like I hand them out, the linemen, the different guys, and try and hand out some fashion tips when I can. And like we got some dudes that can dress, like LT, like he puts it on better than anyone I've ever seen as a big man. So
give me
it's
the top three best dressed on the Commanders. Can't include yourself, obviously.
uh Debo's new in the realm, but like yesterday, his last game day fit was something like that was a sweet one. I'll give Debo a shout out, South Carolina legend. LT for sure, just pure size with like you don't see big men dressing well like that. And I'm gonna throw Noah Brown on there. And there's people like I gotta throw Mikey Sanderstills. Got he knows it. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. Noah does a great job. He dresses himself, so I got to give him that. That's like props. Everyone has stylists and people shopping for him. You dress yourself, you're different.
Well, I feel great. I dress myself almost every day. But do they ask you? So they do ask for tips sometimes. Like maybe they'll
Here
like
and there,
make a
they
jab
kind
in
of
front of the crowd, and then behind the scenes they're like, "Yo, like, what do I do here?"
some there's some I would say most guys know what they want and what they're about, but I think it's more like, hey, when next time you're doing some fashion week event, like let me know, I want to come with. So I'm trying to get my plus ones up.
Yeah. You mentioned, well, we'll talk later. You said you're handing out, cologne and stuff. Lord knows I need it. So, stay after the class. But you mentioned the quarterback room. Before I forget, dude, what is the deal with the basketballs? I always see these basketballs pregame, major topic here. Like what is going on with the basketballs? Clip
So it's
farming 101. Is that all it is?
yeah. So I guess the quarterback room, to answer Clip Farm, that's our number one thing. Like we have it written on our board is Clip Farm. Like
Beautiful.
that's all we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to, as much as we can, create as much buzz around the quarterback room, get as much content out, followers. It's what we do.
We're in the
Or a
fight with you
farm,
there, pal.
yeah, or a farm. Everything. We're just trying to create as much as we possibly can. Nonchalant final bosses. It's the whole thing. Every TikTok buzzword we're saying it 6-7, the whole thing. Um, and but no, so the basketball is a warm up thing. Jay and I, really Jay kind of, from our people out in 3D QB, shout out. That's a free shout out. Shout out
Yeah.
Taylor Kelly.
Block that.
Yeah, like that. And so it's kind of just like the weighted ball, like throwing something a little bigger, so everything feels like you have more control, and it's like a flow thing. Basketball like is kind of that like sport where you're kind of just in the zone playing it and you're just shooting around. So it's kind of just that the mentality. Then also literally it's just like you throw a basketball like a football, like in the same motion, and then you throw a football, the football feels smaller. You feel like you have more control. And it's like tradition. It's just what we did when we did draft prep. It's what we did when we were in college before we would go out and throw in Huntington Beach, and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah. Well, you've always had some good pregame rituals. I know you think a lot of your college career was due to who you were throwing the ball to before the game. What were you going to say? Something? No. Okay. We can move on. Jayden
Shout out
Daniels.
Hebs.
No, hold on, Hebs. Let's stick around on this quarterback room real quick because he's obviously got an interesting one. You obviously have two former number 2 overall picks in the room with Jayden and Mariota, and then you also got Josh, who's been in the league for 85 years. Like, what's it like having a room like that? You're obviously a young guy in the league, but like, what's it like going into a room with, you got a young guy in Jayden who obviously had a great rookie year, and then you have a guy in Mariota and Josh who have so much experience in the league. What's the the balance and things like that of the room?
No, for sure. It's a crazy you look at our like stats and our like records, and Jay and Marcus have like the most awards and unanimouses like you've ever seen. Like it's like one of the craziest. Like I did a presentation on it I think last year, and it was just like Heisman, Walter, like every single thing. Like you're just like, this is incredible. And I think the coolest part is just who they are. Like I could go on a dissertation on every single person in there, and even our coaches who like it's rare, but you have all quarterbacks who all played. Even our OC played. Like there's a certain level of just personality and whatever you want to call it that it takes to play the position at a college level, at the NFL level. And so I think it's just like that. And it's all like everybody, like this past week was a perfect example of like uplifting the person who's the guy that week. Whether it was me as a preseason starter, whether it was Jay as the week 1 starter, whether it was Marcus then after when Jay got hurt, it's like there's no like egos. It's just like whoever's the guy that week, whoever's name's at the top of the call sheet is like that's our guy, and we're gonna ride with them. And like we have such cool relationships where we can tell each other the truth, and it doesn't like it's not gonna be some like, oh, like this dude's screwing me, like this guy doesn't want me to win. And like I think it stems from Marcus. Like Marcus, like I have met probably like 6 people now since that went to school with him at Oregon, just out and about in the world. And it's like, I wish and hope that maybe one person would say the things that they say about him, about me behind my back. Like, I'm like, he's got to be paying these people off. Like, it's like they're like NPCs walking around just saying like, I'm a Marcus Mariota like stan. It's insane. That I think cultivates it. I think obviously Josh, knows everyone's been around it, seen every coverage, run every play, been in every offense, and just like his fountain of knowledge. And just like he's just so like we don't have anybody. Like I'm probably the most animated person in the room, and so you're just kind of like it's a lot of chill guys, a lot of nonchalant final bosses, and we just go around trying to clip farm.
Nice.
Last year going into the year, like obviously, well, first of all, a lot's been made of this bromance between you and Jayden Daniels. Lord knows my aunt is jealous of how much time you guys spend together. But when you guys came in together, obviously as rookies, you're going to say yes, but like, did you know how good he was going to be? And he kind of gives off, you've used the word aura, I think 71 times during these, the past 20 minutes, but like, he just seems very like calm, confident under pressure. So kind of like, what's he like? And did you see this breakout rookie season coming from him? Because as good as he was in college, right? I mean, he had maybe the best rookie season ever. So, like, were you surprised at all by that?
I mean, I think you can never like. I think it's hard to say surprised because if it was this year and I had already seen somebody else play, then I would have been like, yeah, I'm super surprised. I like caught him like post Arizona State. Him and I were both kind of coming off like I came off a pretty good year and he was coming off of the transfer and all, hey, this guy sucks, like get him out of here, going to LSU, about to go prove himself. I saw him then, and then I saw him going into that senior year where we're both like, I'm at Notre Dame, he's doing the LSU thing again, like running it back, kind of the Joe Burrow-esque vibe. I'll tell you, if we threw like let's just say we threw 100 footballs, and that's a very low estimate, but just to make the numbers, like 97 of them were perfectly placed spirals, and it was like I was like, what in the world, like. And that was that going into that senior year. And I was like, if I'm putting money anywhere, it's like he's gonna win that. Like this dude is like he's so dialed in. He's spinning like I've never seen anyone spin the ball that accurately. And then obviously, the rest is whatever. And then he, gets here and like I remember doing like the 7-on-7s with him, and it, like the collective grins throughout our front office and offensive staff when we were just like doing like rookie mini camp, because it looked like he had been running this offense his whole life. And like I'd go in there for my 2 reps and I'm like, whoa, shit, like dude, this dude's just like but it's not like rushed. It wasn't like, and it was just like ball completion. Like we were perfect the first day of 7-on-7. We had like 20 reps. We were no ball hit the ground in a rookie minicamp. That like
Unheard
Trey,
of.
you could probably talk on that. Like that doesn't happen
Yeah, no, that never
in a
happens,
mini
especially in a
camp or
rookie mini camp. No.
like, and I threw like three of those footballs. So let's not like I'm not trying to take any. Um, but like that was, and it was kind of like, oh my goodness. And he had like there were days where like it looked good and it didn't look good, but then like I think the thing that surprised me was his like ability, his like the fourth down plays where it was just like we were
Yeah.
never out of the fight. They could scheme up the perfect defense and he would just end up breaking out of it. And you're just like, man. And like I think that on top of his ability to never like to not make a bad play worse, like he would just find the check down, and then you hit it Eckler in the flat, and he somehow turns it up and gets us a first down, or puts us in that fourth, and we can go for it. And that's stuff I'm trying to like still work on and like grow my game of just like it doesn't look good, boom, balls down, and it was just like every time he'd be like it doesn't look good, boom, balls down, and you just see that like kind of created that momentum for us that we continued, and then the trust was built, and he just rolled.
Speaking of college, so my brother's over at On3 Sports. You got paid about $5 million to go to Notre Dame. And now you're kind of taking a little bit of a pay cut to play in the NFL, which is unheard of. That was never a thing a couple years ago. I'm not going to bore you with NIL questions because I'm sure, you get that all the time. Guys like you and me were always asked, if you guys were in the NIL era, maybe you won't live in your mom's basement, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe I will ask you an NIL question. Like, what was that like transferring from Wake Forest to Notre Dame? Alleged, what I say, $10 million. It might go up every 5 seconds now. But what was that experience like going from, little old Wake Forest, where we all played, you know what I'm saying? But then going to like maybe the biggest brand in college football. What was that switch up like?
Yeah, no, the money is definitely not correct, but I love, shout out on three.
Yeah,
Um,
they
yeah,
did
I
good
mean,
work over
hey,
there.
I can walk down and show you the Toyota 4Runner that you've ridden. I think both of you guys have ridden in that I still have. So,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. And I can show
Permanent
you,
shotgun, I think. It was me and
yeah,
Jurgen, but yeah.
yeah, 100%. Jersey Mike's is still sitting on the floor.
Dan Hartman, 101.
Yeah, Dan Hartman. I might order one of those right now. Uh,
It's on me for this appearance. That was your fee, I think, right?
I appreciate, yeah.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
it was actually a Gatorade top, not the
No,
actual bottle, just the top.
wait till Monday.
Um, No, it was. I mean, it was so cool. It was a obviously bittersweet with Wake, but I think it's always like the misconstrued. Like I was not going back. Like they knew I wasn't coming back. Like obviously, it was a shock, and I think the only shock was that we had to play each other, which was not a fun game. But it was so. I mean, like you said, it's a national brand. It's a larger than life place, and from Thursday until Sunday, it's like you feel like you're in that, like you're in a movie. Like there's whatever 80,000 people flock in from all across the world to come watch you play, and it's like some people it's like literally a family trip. Like you're coming from Thursday and staying until Sunday to go to the grotto after the game, and it was a lot of pressure. I think the theme of right now is like if I could go back in time, and I mean I would do it at Wake too, but like I felt a lot probably more confidence at Wake because of the time that I had put into the offense to just the university. But just like completely going for it. Like I think that's my only regret is I think I played a little bit of like hesitant football, and like that's we all have been there. We've all played that way, and it does not go well. And I think the worst part is not the outcome, but it's like the feeling of like regret and like feeling like you didn't really just fully send it. And I've seen that in all aspects. Like I've seen it in the modeling industry. I've seen it when I've done other things outside of that is like just not fully letting it rip. And we talk about it a lot in our building, and we talk about it a lot in everything. And it's like, if I could do anything back, which isn't really the question, but like I think that, like like as whatever as it is, like we joke around, like it wasn't about the money. Like I was on a practice squad contract there as well as I am here. Like it's the exact same amount. Like it's kind of uncanny. Like I did not make $1 million. I didn't make $500,000. Off the field, I made more money than I did from the collective Notre Dame, and that's my favorite part is when I get DMs from salty Notre Dame fans that say you wasted $4 million on you. I was like, I wish you did.
Yeah.
I'd send you 10K right now for your hardships. Like I promise you, I would not have. I would, and like so that was a huge part of it for me was just like, man, if I could go back. And that's what I tell any quarterback, and I tell any Notre Dame quarterback or anybody, it's like you gotta just go for it. And like that the opportunity that you get, especially at Notre Dame, but at any school, is like you don't get it back. And you're like, when I fell face first at Wake in the ACC championship game, I was so upset and bummed for like the seniors and the people who like put in all that work, for the fans, all the students. Like that was one of the coolest games I've ever been a part of. But I didn't feel regret because I gave it everything I had. Like that whole year, I was like, I'm waking up every morning, I'm doing all these things. And at Notre Dame, it was just like I played a little bit more hesitant than I had ever played. And it like maybe it was because of the pressure, maybe it was because of XYZ. But like I know that there was still meat on the bone that I didn't chew. And I wish that I did that. And like I catch myself all the time trying to like combat that. But I mean, again, like that's a part of, my story and what
So
it's a part of it.
I know we're all jokes today, but I mean, you have probably the thickest skin of anyone I know. I've always really, admired your ability to bounce back. I know that's something we've spoken about a ton. But what was it at Notre Dame? It was the bigger audience. Obviously, at Wake, it's like as good as we were for some of those years. Ranked, playing in the ACC championship. Like just the spotlight is on a whole different level at Notre Dame. Do you think that played a part of it? And how have you taken that? Obviously, the NFL is that times 10, right? What did you take from that experience then? Like, has that helped who you are now? Like dealing with when you have a tough preseason game, like, what did you take from Notre? Huh? Well, allegedly, I'm saying if you were to, like, come
So
on.
that's you. Yeah, thanks. Watch the all 22. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean it did. It impacted a lot of things, and I think anything in life you're gonna, you can shy away from the consequences or shy away from like the results, or you can dive headfirst into it and say, hey, like this is why this happened. And I work with a lot of mental coaches. I've worked with a lot of different people trying to work on the different sides of the game and the different aspects that like I needed to become sharper and I needed to work on. And yeah, I took a lot from Notre Dame. I took a lot from Coach Freeman and his he's again probably the most ridiculed and have the biggest spotlight as like one of the biggest at Notre Dame, for all the connotations and all the context that you can think of. And so it was just like you get there and you just kind of realize like this is everybody knows who the quarterback of Notre Dame is. Like that's just the thing. Like you just and people tell you about it, and like you have the former quarterbacks and the different boosters and the different people being like, listen, like you don't realize it. And I'm like, yeah, like okay, because I didn't grow up a Notre Dame person. Like I knew the movie Rudy. I knew they had gold helmets, and like that's it. And when I showed up on campus, I was like, okay, this is cool, but it was like middle of the winter, nobody was around. The stadium was big, but like didn't feel that big. And then you take the field, and you're like 80,000 people, NBC every time. We did 2 college game days in a row. We played on college game day once at Wake, and it was COVID and it was Clemson first
Yeah.
week of the season. Like it was a joke. There was 17 people in the stands.
Being generous.
Like I think a little bit of that. I think a little bit it was confidence in the offense. I think a little bit it was just reps. Like 5 years at Wake with the same people, like throwing A.T. Perry a post ball. Like I could do that right now with my eyes closed. Hitting Connor Hebler in the flat, like on Elephant, whatever that play would be. Like that's
A
like
tale as old as time, my brother.
yeah. And so like that's something that it was second nature and the offense and the RPO stuff, as funny as it is, like I felt super comfortable in it. And then I had to go like learn a pro style offense, get under center. And like I'm not like these aren't excuses. Like I needed to play better. I should have played better. And like I had all the opportunities too, and it just didn't happen. And like would I change it? I'd love to, but no, because like then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be a part of this organization. Like I've seen guys that got drafted before me at quarterback. They aren't playing anymore or they're on a different team. Like it's all like there's all something for it. Like I wish it was different. I would throw away so many other things outside of football to be at a higher level or at a different place in like the trajectory of football. But like you can't do that. So I'm here and I love it.
Fucking go, man. You're firing me up. You mentioned Marcus Freeman. What's up with the pants?
They're fitted, tailor fitting.
Are they,
We
was that your doing? That like he used to, he's got these pants that just, I mean, are kind of comically tight right now.
No, that's him working out. He squats 315 every morning. I watch him, and he benches like whatever 350. He's a stud.
Too jacked and handsome to be a good head coach. Like,
I
I feel
mean,
like
national championship last year. I don't know. I feel like he's doing all right.
well, I'm just saying he doesn't fit the mold really, right?
No, I think he perfectly fits the mold. That's what you want in your head coach.
I want
Take
you to
all
be
the
a little,
attention off the players.
you got to be a little ugly, dude. You got to be kind of fat and ugly. Like, why,
That's your
how does,
defensive coordinator. That's your
Do you want
defensive
Hebs?
coordinator.
You want like a gut, like some dip in the mouth, like
yeah,
Yeah, your
yeah.
defensive coordinator, O line coach.
Like,
Not
how
a
do you
head
have
coach.
time to be like nothing but respect our brother Mike Elko? Like, I mean, that guy is, he's got the belly coming in every year. It looks like a new pillow gets under there. Like, I mean,
that's a ball
that
coach,
guy's not
Heb?
squatting 315. He's crunching tape. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Hey man,
Sorry,
I think he's a hell of a ball coach, man.
he's a
I'd
great.
go to war for him,
Let's go, dude.
and he's easy on the eyes.
Yeah, not bad. Who was that ever like a conversation? Who's more handsome out of you two?
Just depends on what you're into.
Certainly isn't my family reunions. You know what I mean? It's two jokes there. So obviously we were going into modeling a little bit earlier. Do you actually have to start like? And speaking of our guy Marcus Freeman, do you have to start like lifting now for real and like getting jacked? Because like as a quarterback, you don't really do anything during lifts. Maybe you mess around with the sand bucket, but models are kind of shredded. So do you have to switch up the workout routine a little bit to fit in with these cats?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I worked like you got to be kidding me on the workout stuff. I worked out hard. I wasn't that strong, but like I worked out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you came back from COVID and you were like the most jacked guy ever. You're 225 solid. Like, I mean, no one knows what went on for those 3 months, but then I mean, I don't know, but I'm not saying you don't work out hard. I'm saying quarterbacks, you kind of have a reputation. You guys would do like the Palloff press and then the rice bucket.
Hey man, I'll take you to the deep end if you want to on that. Like I'd love to. I'd love to, put on have Chad Berry come out and put us through something and just see what really
Oh,
happened.
Best bring your life vest, buddy. Yeah,
Like,
I would have eaten you in the awakening, bro.
dude,
That was like the only thing I was good at. Can you just
Rondell
give me that,
Bothroyd,
please?
you can call Rondell Bothroyd and ask him how the plate holds went when he went against me, and
Oh, that's barbecue chicken, dude. We're talking Rondell Bothroyd in the play. I mean, I would. You do a lot of these Instagram dumps now, right? A lot of movie and television characters. We had, I believe there was Al Pacino in one of them. Shane Falco. There's like a literally knee movement in the TikTok kind of incel community. Not calling you part of that, but what are the characters that kind of mold you? Like are there any TV movie characters that kind of have molded you?
Yeah. Well, there's this one short film, Banana Split, and a sequel slash prequel that are in the works right now as I speak. I can't. I'm
Yeah,
signing
that's all
in
you're
from
saying.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a couple characters in there that I felt like portrayed me and my triumphs and also struggles. But besides Banana Split 2 and the entire cast, shout out to literally everyone for that. Dogwood. Besides that, it's kind of an array. Like, I mean, you grew up on the Transformers, the Megan Fox deal, Shia LaBeouf. Like, that's just an iconic one. That was one of my posts. It's Michael Bay, a lot of explosions, some Linkin Park. Like, why not? And then I believe there's another one coming out, which just fires me up. But I go through like Point Break, like, the old, I said Shane Falco. I'm trying to think of other people. I mean, there's a lot. Like, I got a tattoo of Gladiator on my leg, like Man in the Arena, Russell Crowe. Like, it goes, I just, you just watch a good film or you see something on TikTok, then you watch the film on TikTok come on, hurry up, chop, chop, movie boy. You got,
You guys really are into the clip farming.
yeah, we are. And so that's a huge part of it. And like, I enjoy movies. Like, we did some films together and, film class. And, I think, in the future, we're going to have to figure out something, create something special.
Maybe in the not so distant future, my friend. Your favorite show is Entourage. I remember putting you onto it. My last question for you.
Amen.
Can
To
you,
Zach.
there we go. I think we're all Entourage people here. I need you to recast Entourage with the Commanders. So it could be players, coaches. Give me the big five, the Entourage. I'll give you a second if you need time.
The greatest part of that, not to cut you off, is I'm a meme guy. I created some classics back in the day.
Yeah, big meme guy.
Our quarterback like Christmas card was the Kanye West Cons plane trip, the
Yeah.
picture from that, and we had it. I'm trying to remember because it was Jeff Driscoll instead of Josh, so I'd have to find a place to put Josh in. Um, but it was, and we had our quarterback staff of Tavita Pritchard and then David Blau, and it was like, obviously I put myself as Vincent Chase. And then it
Who's
was
Ari? Who was Ari?
Cliff, 100%.
Nice.
Oh, well, give me not the quarterback. I need the real answer here, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. But I feel like I know those guys. All right, so Vincent Chase, I'll put Jay there because he's larger than life.
Yeah.
I'll keep myself out of it. I'm trying to think. I mean, the quarterback room is the one where I don't feel like somebody would get mad.
Fair. All right, you could.
Dude, you're not gonna be the turtle. You're not gonna be the
I'm
turtle.
I'm Johnny Drama.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll put, obviously Ari's Cliff, E's David Blau, assistant QB coach, real dog.
Classic.
I'm trying to think because who's in that? I think Walsh is in that. I put our quarterback.
Who's Turtle, dude? Turtle. I just need Turtle right now.
I mean, I guess that's Marcus, but I mean, yeah, because Marcus came.
That's
he's like
crazy, dude.
He's
You were just giving the guy
like
praise, and now he's Turtle.
No, but like Turtle's
a legend, bro.
Yeah, he like glows up. He comes in and he gets. Yeah,
All right, fair,
Marcus.
fair. That's a good answer.
Yeah, then I'm Drama, Chase, and then Vinny's Jay and Cliff's Ari. Yeah, it's a good group.
Well, I'm buying tickets for the reboot, brother. Sam Hartman, thank you so much, my friend. A lot of fun. You're a freaking hero, man. That's why we call
Appreciate
it Hero
you coming
Ball.
on, Sammy.
Oh man, got a great one though. Just to end it on. What do you call an old man with a?
Oh,
what is
wow.
it? He didn't even. He got paused at the punchline. He froze at the
left.
punchline.
That's the point. He left.
Yes,